Okay, I'm going to talk about the biggest real estate management mistakes to avoid. The first one is renting to friends and relatives. I have never ever done this because I have seen other people rent to relatives. A friend of mine rented to his nephew, and his nephew lived for 8 months, never paid a penny. Finally, he evicted him and got possession of the unit, and of course rented it to someone who wasn't a relative. And you find out that a lot of friends and relatives just think that you're in a much better shape than they are, and they just like to skip out on paying the rent. Also, the second thing is don't show an apartment before it's ready, because it will never rent. The unit must be fixed. The doors, windows, cabinets, they need to be fixed, doorknobs, and it has to be painted and clean. If it's not ready, don't show it, because people think they will imagine that it will take you a lot longer to fix it up than it really will, and then they just won't call back. They won't come back. They'll just start looking at other units, and then eventually they'll forget about yours. Also, don't show two vacancies. If you just happen to have, you've owned a property for 15 years, you've never had more than one vacancy, but you just happen to have two vacancies. And if you show both those vacancies, even if they're ready, they won't rent. The people that are looking at the units, they will imagine that the neighbors are so noisy that everybody's moving, and it will just never rent. And so I only show one unit at a time. I cover the other one with sheets or shop blankets, the windows, and it looks rented, and I just show one at a time. If they ask me if I have another one, I just tell them I only have one ready, and I just show that one. You have to create demand or it won't rent. Also, you must get the contract signed and the rent deposit before they move in. Moving expenses are high, and if you let them move in without getting the money in the contract, you might never get them ever. They might never be current on the rent. They might spend too much on furniture, and they'll forget about you, and that'll be their habit. They'll never get caught up, or they might never give you the signed contract. So you also want to get a signed contract and the money before you give them the keys. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.